Why do we still struggle, suffer, and feel lost at times? It's a good question. Hi, David William Pierce, and in this video, I'm going to explain what Tantra has to say about this, as well as how you can create impactful change in your life. So if you've ever wondered, why does life feel so hard, confusing, or painful, if reality is indeed an expression of love, intelligence, and consciousness, then stay tuned, because we're going to unpack this in this week's Tantric Studies from Tantra Illuminated, Chapter 13, by Christopher Harish Wallace. For last week's part 1, head here. Okay, let's get into it. Because Tantra doesn't dismiss your curiosity. It says this question itself reveals where understanding has not yet ripened into recognition. And let's explore what that means. Tantra begins with a radical assertion. This self, your deepest self, as an embodiment of the one light of consciousness. It is Shiva, free, autonomous, and overflowing with joy. That's its default nature. The scriptures tell us that the divine does not create the world out of lack, out of punishment, or out of necessity, but out of an intense delight in self-expression. This universe arises from a natural creative urge within consciousness itself, a movement to know itself, to experience itself, to express itself fully. For God so loved the world that she became it. And this expression unfolds through 3 primary powers. The first is Iksha Shakti, the power of will, the surge of desire to express. The second is Jnana Shakti, the power of knowledge, understanding how that expression can take form. And the third is Kriya Shakti, the power of action, the movement of energy into manifestation. This sequence unfolds in every moment, at every scale, from galaxies forming to a thought arising in your mind. Creation is not a one-time event. It's an ongoing act of love. So naturally, we ask, if all of this is free and joyful self-expression of the divine, then why does it hurt so much, so often, so frequently, so deeply in life? Well, Tantra hears your cries and answers, and the answer may surprise you, because it says the question itself comes from a misunderstanding of duality, non-duality, From the divine perspective, there is no preference for pleasure over pain. Both are equal expressions of the divine, equally expressing, both belonging. Pain in Tantra is not the problem. Pain is natural. It's a feedback mechanism. It's a gift, a signal of aliveness, a form of intelligence. Suffering, however, is something else entirely. Suffering is not inherent in life. It's a mental state, a creation when we misinterpret our experience. Most of what feels unbearable in human life is not pain itself, but the story we layer on top of that pain. And this suffering, the scriptures tell us, is entirely the product of our ignorance. And not ignorance as in stupidity, but ignorance as in forgetting. Here is the heart of the teaching, that in order for God to become you, me, whoever, the divine must temporarily forget its own infinite nature. To take on a specific perspective, a specific life, a specific story, consciousness needs to narrow itself, to forget everything that isn't you. Just enough to say, I am this. What you normally experience as yourself is only the tip of an immense iceberg. The entire pattern of the universe is imprinted within you. You are not merely part of the whole, you are the whole, appearing as a part. And suffering arises when we mistake the part for the whole, when we believe our limited self-image is the full truth of who we are. For me, this teaching has shifted how I relate to difficulty. And that's not to say that doing so is easy. It's challenging, and repeatedly so. But instead of asking, why is this happening to me? The shift is asking, what part of the divine is being expressed here? What am I forgetting about myself? Or put another way, how is life unfolding through me, and for the benefit of all beings? And this doesn't make the pain disappear, no. If only it were that easy. But it does dissolve the sense of being punished, or at least it assists in doing so. It assists in this misbelief that I'm broken or alone, that I deserve this. There's something wrong with me. And in that sliver of a shift, of a change of state, everything can begin to change. Tantra says that fulfillment does not come from acquiring more, from fixing yourself or transcending life. No, it comes from seeing the truth of your own being. Infinite potential already exists within you, not because you are inherently special, but because you are a unique, beautiful expression of the divine. What manifests through you in this lifetime may not be infinite in form, but it is uniquely yours, a gift to express through you, as you, for you, with you, by you. And it deserves to be honored. Your life is not a detour from God's unfolding. It is how God explores herself. It's how God explores herself. Don't let the suffering get in the way of the gift. Remember that the suffering is just a forgetting. Recognize that life is unfolding for you, and if that's challenging, an invitation to change your state, move your body. There's no more proof of being alive than movement. And to just invite a sense of gratitude for what is, because it is a gift, even if you're struggling to see it right now. If this teaching has resonated with you, not just intellectually, but somewhere deeper, there is a quiz linked in the description to support with integrating what we've explored today. These questions are just a way to integrate, to support in the learning, to support in your shifting, in your remembering, your recognition. And the answers are there to support you as well. If you want them, just fill out the form and you'll be emailed the answers. And there's a whole document of all of the past week's questions and building for you guys. You'll also receive an invitation to join the Aligned Living Collective. It's a growing community of people exploring these teachings, not as theory, but as lived path of recognition, embodiment, and love. Tantra is the integrative path. It's not about transcending and abstaining from life, but really figuring out how to enjoy it. Remember, you don't have to walk this alone, because remembering who you are is easier and far more beautiful when it's done together. Thank you for joining. See you next time. Salut.